Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Hold up. Let me do some stuff real quick. Hold up. All right. So, yes, it is us, the Young Melanated Council. We are coming back to you guys live in full effect. Typically, we go live every other Tuesday around about 9:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then wherever else you're at in the world, you can catch us live on YouTube for right now. Hopefully, as we get things underway, we can increase our reach to Twitter and Twitch. Love those communities out there. But we're going to kick it right here on YouTube for the time being. As always, please make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. Do what it is, whatever it is you have to do to get some love showing out into the algorithm. Because if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here on this Tuesday night. So we thank you. We appreciate you. We appreciate the love. We appreciate you guys even stopping in. And even if you don't stop in, just the simple fact that you clicked on our channel and watched the videos and, it was something intriguing, we appreciate it. We'll take it. We will take it. So first thing and foremost, what we like to do is we like to open it up with a virtual check-in, especially with mental health being a really ongoing conversation that's going on in plenty circles. And even then, just the simple fact of the matter that mental health has become a huge priority. We like to extend that here at the Melanated Council. So I'm going to type it in the chat. How's everybody doing? And what's been going on? Like what's going on in your neck of the woods? What's happening in your area? Just to kind of kick things off, make it sweet, smooth, mellow, so you guys can see that there. Again, how's everybody doing tonight? What's going on? What's happening in your neck of the woods? What's the weather like? Are you guys ready, preparing for this hurricane that's coming up or this tropical storm? Things of that nature. And yeah, like I know for me, for if you guys don't know, you probably should know. But if you don't know, that's fine. I live in Michigan, and the last past couple of days has been very cool. It's been cooler. We had some rain over the last past few days, and it's supposed to stay this way for the rest of this week. Even Saturday is supposed to be not super cold, so like high 60s, low 70s, kind of cloudy. In my case, perfect football weather. And it really just having a good time outside. I'm an outside kind of person, whenever the weather's cooperating. If it's not, I'm staying inside. I'm not trying to get sick. I've already been sick already due to COVID, and yeah, that thing still sucks. So, again, how's everybody doing? What's been going on? And just really opening up the door, opening up the floor to everyone. I know for me, things been going pretty okay for the most part. I know that my allergies has been kicking my butt since the beginning of August. But then again, somewhere in September, at the early part of September, messed around and got COVID. And I didn't realize I had it. Yeah. So doing that, I know the kids. I got 3 kids, and all 3 of them play football. So for my oldest daughter, youngest, All three of them, they're playing football. They've been, well, my oldest and my youngest, they've had their season started already so far. My daughter, she just got into her season. Um, she lost her first game, which, you know, it happens. It happens. So tomorrow she has a game. She's playing here at home. So I'm a help coach my youngest son's team, get them ready, and then I'm gonna scoot over to her game. Excuse me. Luckily, he's in here in town, so I get to watch her play and just root for her. She paid for her own cleats because Saturday was her birthday, so whoop whoop. And yeah, we pretty much just chilled. I know we had a game. Um, I know my youngest had a game Saturday. You know, they lost, but it happens. A lot of the teammates gave up and threw in the towel. And again, like I was telling the team Saturday, I'm like, listen, y'all can't be giving up on each other, and especially against a team that we could have easily beat, and knowing that, yeah, that team was very much afraid of you guys, but because of the fact they hit harder and continue to hit hard, and we didn't get a chance to respond back the way how we wanted to, it shows. But offense finally made some things to get together, scored a touchdown, so that was cool. That was great. And even then on defense, like we have some people that are out of place, so we're going to correct that and get that fixed. But like other than that, you know, the team that we have is a really good team, really solid team. Everybody works well together, and so this next game we're going to be away, and hopefully we could put something together get um, to get a win this for the first time this season. So that's what we're hoping for. That's what we're shooting for. My oldest, his team is like 1-3, but a lot of the games, like this past game, again, the team wasn't as good as it's been the last 2 3 years, and this could have been a team they could have easily won, easily won. They could have beat them, but offense wasn't working, clicking, wasn't firing on all cylinders. Defense, first half was looking good, was looking phenomenal, trying to get offense to get a chance to at least score or at least put some points on the board. After the second half, it just kind of nosedives. So I'm like, this is not going to be good. So this game that they got, my oldest son now, the game they have this Friday. Hold on, I got to sneeze. Excuse me. So the game they have this Friday, this game is pretty much a make or break game because this is a game that could actually qualify them to go into the playoffs. And again, a very athletic and talented team. One more sneeze. Excuse me. Getting allergies. So, like I said before, they have a very athletic, talented team, and they easily can work well together. But with a lot of the injuries, a lot of the star players getting injured in their season, it's pretty much done for. Like they're still trying to put some stuff together to make some stuff happen, and I'm hoping with this game to kind of get that big turnaround, get that big confidence boost, and actually win this game to actually be able to play into the playoffs. So that's the hope, that's the goal. And even if some of the top teams within our conference, even if they lose a game or two, that's okay because at least as long as we win the next set of our games, we should be fine, right? So that's that. Oh, goodness gracious. So I'm going to bring on our first host, and I won't even call her a guest. She's a host, and she is the second part of this trio that we have in the Melanated Council. If you guys been watching us for such a long time, you know it's three of us, and then whoever gets on first does the introductions and all the other good stuff. So, before I sneeze and allow my nose to run away from me again because I feel it. I hate this part of Michigan. It sucks because the temperatures have been super high and it's been super low, and it just It's irritating. So I'm gonna bring on this next host, and hopefully my nose and my sinuses and my allergies can do me some justice. Because if not, I will cut off my nose live on stream. Not really, but I just might. You never know. Okay, you get what you get when you come here. So, anyways, huh, coming to the virtual round table. You love her. You hopefully you have been friends with her, and huh, Angela. Listen, I'm gonna need more than some. I'm gonna need like a hot toddy, like two. Matter of fact, I need double shots of whiskey in both of my hot toddies, and yes, I think I'll be a okay. And probably when I bring on my next, probably when I bring in this next toast, I'm probably gonna end up blowing my nose. So you are absolutely right. Yes. So without further ado, and I'm gonna make some tea too. Angela, you bring up a very good point. I'm gonna make some tea. I'm bringing in our next host, the one, the only, the lovely, the still undisputed champion of Super Smash Brothers. Doesn't matter which console she's playing on, undisputed champion of the world, of the universe, and the creator of the Agreeable Gray Area podcast. Give it up for the one, the only, the lovely L.
Woo!
Huh.
Hey, good
What's
evening,
up?
everybody. Hey,
Yes.
thank you, Ron, for the
Welcome.
introduction, as always. Sorry that your nose is running away from you.
I'm not trying
Very,
to catch you.
very rude of your nose, but
All right.
yeah. No, like, hey, Chad.
What up, Chad? Good to
Hey,
see
good
you.
to see you. Good to
Good
see
to
you.
see you.
Yeah. Um, no, when you said that you might make yourself some tea, that reminded me, like, I have tea like not as often as I used to. Before I would have
Uh-huh.
tea like every single morning
Mm-hmm.
for a long time. I used to have oatmeal with tea, and then I like did like some blood work. This was like the end of like 2022, and I said I had very low iron, and I was like, "What the hell?" Um, turns out that like tea is like does it like kind of prevents the absorption of iron.
mm-hmm.
So I've like I want to say I stopped drinking tea completely. I don't really have any tea in my house,
Mm-hmm.
but I've been, more cognizant of whenever I've been taking like iron pills, like vitamins. Yeah, caffeinated tea for sure.
True.
Yeah, caffeinated tea does. Herbal tea doesn't really know. Um so I've been like more like cognizant of like drinking orange juice or anything with vitamin C when I take iron vitamins or just eat things with a lot of iron in it because vitamin C helps with iron absorption.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing that for a very long time, and I actually just got retested for my iron after taking what was prescribed to me iron, and then also just taking over the counter um, like vitamins iron
Mm-hmm.
for like pretty consistently. Like there's occasionally I would, not take it. Because I don't really want to be like totally reliant on it.
Mm-hmm.
And like my results came out pretty well. Like there were most like all except one were in the normal range. It was kind of like on the lower end of normal, but still in the normal range, which I'm happy about because before my iron was like low.
Oh.
Um, one was like in the low range, but it was like 0.34 points away from being in normal range. So that must have just been whatever kind of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I consider myself good to go.
There you go. Love
Yeah.
to hear it.
Yeah. Like I've been eating like a little bit more red meat, just and also just knowing when to drink tea. Usually it's like if I go to like a coffee shop on the weekends, which I haven't done in a while, but I occasionally do and we'll just get like a tea there. But I do miss tea and I'm thinking about, going back to drinking tea, but like, just being more mindful of when I drink it rather than like drinking tea with oatmeal. Oatmeal's high in iron and then tea just kind of just like canceled that. So
Right.
but yeah. Also just, incorporating more greens, which I was doing. It was just like I think it was just the amount of caffeinated tea, especially I was drinking.
Right.
So yeah. But
Right.
it does it does feel like I actually do notice the difference of having more iron in me because like before I would get like very cold like in my house and now I don't as much. So iron, it works,
Yeah.
folks.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to think like what else has been going on with me. Like that was like a pretty big win, which I'm happy about.
Hmm.
Um
Always.
yeah. Um boyfriend and I went to a wedding last Tuesday. It was nice to kind of, you know, lined up when the on the weeks that we weren't streaming.
Hmm.
We went to Cocoa Beach, which is the beach in Central Florida. Um, nice, quiet beach town. That's where like Ron John Surf Shop. I think it's the first one that was
Hmm.
there, but it's like a surf town. It's like one of the few places in the state of Florida where you can actually like get decent waves to surf. Like South Florida doesn't really have that.
Mm. Okay.
Um, but I didn't surf. But it was weird, like seeing these waves because, growing up in South Florida my whole life, of course I've seen waves, but I never seen like big waves that's like a little scary. I'm like, oh, you can't really just like play in this water. Like you have to like do something. You have to like surf or paddleboard or to like do something in this ocean. You can't just, flap around by the shore. So
Right.
yeah, because like it really like hits you, and sometimes you see the wave just like huge, and you're like, well, I can't jump over that or you know anything. I have to just get slapped in the face with a wave.
Mm.
Yeah. No, like my boyfriend, he was a groomsman. The groom, best man, like a lot of them surf. So one of the reasons why they had it in Cocoa Beach. Also his wife, you know, I think she surfs too. I know that she does like paddle boarding and likes doing like aquatic stuff. But yeah, it was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Um,
That's awesome.
yeah. Uh, I do want to introduce our third host, last host, but certainly not least.
Yes.
This gentleman is anything but gentle.
Hmm. Yes.
He is the reason why your girl hops on YouTube suspiciously at around 9 p.m. every other Tuesday night when she doesn't watch YouTube at all, really. But she goes on to be more informed. There's this cool podcast.
Yes.
Which we are. We're great. We are a very informative, cool podcast, if I do say so myself. With that said, I would like to introduce the one, the only, Toby.
Woo, woo! Oh, wow!
Oh, you're on mute, Toby.
We can't hear
Yes,
you, Tony.
I just noticed that. Yo, what's up?
Hey,
Sir, what's up? Oh my goodness! Yep,
It's good to
here we
see
go.
everyone. It's good to see everyone. Why do you have that reaction, Ron? Well, I guess we all, you know, it's all hype. It's always hype.
Yes.
Hey, I appreciate you. That's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually follow this live channel.
We should all brought out our baby oil. It was baby oil, like
Yes.
yeah,
baby oil for
1,000 bottles of baby oil.
We should have a grassroots stream. Baby oil for one of those for Harris streams. Baby oil for Harris or something insane. Something absolutely insane. That's inspired by. Wait, is that supposed to be me? Yikes.
Yay! Yikes!
Did he do it? No, it's right there.
No.
Oh, yeah, in the title.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, who was that inspired by? Oh, sorry. I see what you're saying. I just literally, I guess it was LeBron James. I think he was the one that was like, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party." Very infamous clip now. If you watch it, and he's literally on, actually, it's funny because he is on the live. Like it was probably an Instagram live or something. And he was like, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party." Now I saw people bring that up in the comments somewhere, maybe like a few months ago. It might have even been a month. Time has been weird. But that was, of course, before this arrest. It was more of just like they were trying to clown on LeBron James for a bunch of stuff. It was actually kind of petty because it was like a YouTube.
Rocket. Uh-oh.
I don't know if it was like a YouTube post trying to like clown on him and say why he's not the GOAT. Outside of like they're talking about personal stuff. So people were trying to say, I don't care what you think of his like player, but he's a great guy and his family, he cares. But then some guy came with a list of like blah 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 blah. And one of them was, you know, never been to. I think he was trying to like prop someone else up. So he was like, this person never been to a Diddy party. This person, something about him being on page 1 of a book. That's a kind of a dumber thing. And so that's when I had to look up Diddy party LeBron James, and then I started seeing that clip. I saw the clip, and then I would start seeing the quote more. People would say, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party." So yeah, that's, I was like, "Ain't no stream like a Diddy stream." So anyway, because our first episode, for those of you who are new, was us talking about Biden, saying you ain't black. So I always had to caption whenever we had a year anniversary, or sometimes just for fun. I'd be like, remember, kids, if you don't watch our live stream, you ain't black. And so likewise, I make a little riff off of the Diddy.
That was pretty funny. I remember when he said that.
Toby stream.
Oh. Those were the days.
See, I thought of saying something like that. I could have just done that as my name, but I had to, yeah. Actually, I kind of like that. You have to like know the live stream reference and the Diddy party reference. I was like, that's too far removed. But for those in the know, that's actually wonderful, Rocky. But it's good to see everyone. Last 2 weeks ago, I was definitely attending Congressional Black Caucus events. Did way too much that week. Way too much. But that Wednesday, I mean, it was a good day. I was at a few gov tech related mixers. That evening of Wednesday, the 11th, September 11th. So it was a productive day. Obviously I was sad to not be here, but I did have to take care of some things, secure a registration for a conference, actually, which was important. They were giving basically discounts to a conference. If you registered to vote, if you checked your registration to vote, or you actually registered to vote, they would give you like a voucher that would give you free entry to the lowest tier of a conference that I wanted to go to. So I was like, okay, gotta get this done. So it's nice. It's literally been a month because it would have been 4 weeks ago on the last stream. So these pay play. Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, you guys were having a convo, and I was trying to follow it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Sounded like you were kind of talking about your week, or your
Yeah.
weeks, your happenings.
Yeah, just catching people up on my life. Like, yeah, just got, just a lot of like grown up things happening, like with, friends and family. So it's just like, kind of like eye opening. I'm like, man, we're all just like getting older and growing up.
Mm.
Like, like when I think about my age, I'm like, wow, I could really be like married with kids, and that's not even, that wouldn't even be weird for my age, like at all. But it still like feels weird thinking about it. Like, I wanted to ask you this, Ron, real quick.
Mhm.
When did it really truly hit you that you were like a whole dad?
Phew. Oh man. I actually, when we moved out to Colorado, so like that second year, Tor. I'm
Sure.
no, there you go. Elle said sure. She's in her late 20s. When we were living in Colorado, and so like those first couple of years, especially after my daughter was born, like that's when it like legit hit me, you know. And then mind you, not to say that, but at that time my son he was like 3, so about 3, 4, around about this time now. And no, he might have been 5, somewhere around there. And
Mm.
so like traveling from Michigan to Colorado with our oldest was an experience where he could kind of like look back like, yeah, I remember doing this at the third, and just looking how they grew up so close, and how um I think even on my Facebook page there's a picture of me chasing after him, because we were walking to the store, which was not even like 10 minutes away from the house that we were staying at. And just, watching my friends and who went to high school with me and they having kids, I'm like, man, like I'm actually in dad status now, like teaching him a lot of the stuff as far as um, being a boy, uh, being respectful, always do your chores, say yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir, be respectful to the older people that you run across to. And even then, just like also understand, just be a kid, be a kid as
Mhm.
long as you possibly can, just be a kid. And so when our daughter was born, he kind of looked like, wait, this is my sister? Like, yeah. And so we got a picture of him holding his sister as she was coming home from the hospital. Oh, hold on. Gotta get to that. I get to that one. So just seeing that and how he kind of held her, and he had this look like, wait, this is my sister? Like, yeah, that's your sister. And just like how all of that just blended together. Mind you, I'm still a gamer at heart, and
Mhm.
Yeah. So just like a lot of like taking the gaming aspect out of it and more so focusing on, hey, I got kids, got a wife, and we're just slowly but surely just making it, having our ups and downs, and really learning a lot about life just head on. It
Mm.
really, a lot of my friends, they're like, how's Colorado? Like, we've never heard anybody moving out to Colorado. This and the third, like, yeah, it's actually pretty beautiful. And,
Mhm.
my brother, he came out to visit twice. Our friend from high school came out once, and I was like, wow. And even then, my my sister-in-law's brother, he came out with his wife, and so it was just all of us, in Colorado. They're like, wow, you really picked a nice state to live in, and just really, you're like beautiful. Mind you, the week that they came, it was just rainy, it was cold, it was wet, it was no fun. But as they were leaving, I'm like, y'all should have waited. It came like the next week. He was like, my brother's like, why? He was like, well, I sent them a screenshot of what the weather was going to be. It was mid high 70s, low 80s, sunny. He said,
Mm.
for real? I'm like, dude, I wish I could make this up. Like, I wish I could. No. 80 degrees, out in shorts, and like with the rain going. And with anybody who lived in Colorado, a lot of stuff you do outside, especially when the weather is nice. Yes. Yes. And so I'm like, dude, there's a whole lot of what I could have showed you. Like, there's a whole penny arcade that we could have went to and just blew money playing in the arcades and whatnot. So we had that. And then just to circle back to Rocky's question, what age did that strip kink in? I think when my oldest was getting a shot, he had to be like 2 or 3, terrified of needles. Terrified. I don't know how a 2-year-old, 3-year-old could be terrified of needles, but yes. And so his mom and the nurses were trying to pin him down. And so he's squirming around. And so I sat him between my legs. I grabbed his arms. I kind of gave him a nice little bear hug. But, it was tight enough to the point where he couldn't wiggle free, but not super tight where he was being suffocated. And I dropped my legs around his legs. I'm like, go ahead and give him a shot. He looked at me. He's like, Dad, for real? I'm like, hey, if you move, I'm going to close up tight. So he got his shot. And then after that, I think the next time I had to do it, my cousin, he's a licensed barber, and he was cutting hair. He was like, "Hey, I gotta cut your hair a little, man." He was like, "No, I don't want my hair cut." Da 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 da. Mom, the wife, Mrs. She was like, "I'm tired of doing your hair. You got to get your hair cut." My mom, she was like, "No, leave his hair alone." Like, no, like what I'm going to do is he's going to get his hair cut, and he's going to let you. Otherwise, whatever he does, you're going to look like that for whatever. And so he's crying. He's about, I think, 4 or 5 now. So finally, I set him down, bear hug him again. I'm like, listen, you're gonna sit here, you're gonna get your hair cut, and that's that. No ifs, ands, buts about it. It's not gonna hurt, so quit tripping. He just kind of looked at me like, yeah. My cousin, yes, my cousin's good. He's still alive and well. He doesn't cut hair anymore. For me, I cut my own hair. I cut my own hair, and even then, my my son now, I cut his hair. So it's just one of those things where dad's strength had to kick in, do what you got to do, and he still kind of remembers that to this day. We kind of laugh and joke about it. He said, "Dad, you really did it?" Like, yeah, because you didn't want nobody to touch your hair. You didn't want nobody to cut your hair. You didn't want nobody to comb, brush. You didn't want nobody to do nothing to your hair. You just wanted to let it. Wow, I got tired of it. It's like, no, you're getting your haircut. And so when he was done, I think we probably went out for like ice cream or something. My mom's like, "Now you know you shouldn't do that to that boy." I'm like, "Mom, you gotta understand. He's a boy. Eventually, he's gonna grow up to be a man. Like, I don't know how else to tell it to you. Like, he has to learn. He has to understand that you can't be just acting the fool when somebody is trying to cut your hair, and especially if I have to pay that person to cut his hair. Like, no, we're not doing that. No." And so eventually I ended up starting to cut his hair because taking him to the barber wasn't gonna work. Wasn't gonna work. So I bought clippers and I told him, like, listen, I'm gonna cut your hair and this is what your hair is gonna look like. This is what's gonna happen. And so a few times, you know, he started kind of crying a little bit. I was like, dude, this is not going to hurt. He was like, you sure? Like, dude, I promise you, it's not going to hurt. So just started cutting, started talking to him, started cutting. And even then, like, I actually picked up a piece of his hair and I let him play with it. Like, this is your hair. He was like, really? And so as I'm cutting his hair, I'm picking up hair and I'm giving it to him so he can play around with. Like, it just kind of is like, oh, it's not that bad. And even then, my first time doing it, of course, he had little patches here and there. So I was like, I got to blend his hair so everything looks even and this, that, and the third. But, he has to understand that this is a process. And if I were to take him to a barber shop, this is what they're going to pretty much do the same thing. And he was like, Dad, I don't want to go to the barber shop. Like, if you're not cutting my hair, I don't want nobody cutting it. And that was pretty much the theme as he got older. And even though I would get my hair cut, he was like, Dad, when are you going to cut my hair? I can do it right now. So we'll sit in the bathroom, cut his hair. Yep. Yep. And so, and even now, like I said, now he's 17. He's like 6'4", 6'1". Plays football. He has dreads, but he likes the sides and the back like trimmed low. And so I got some trimmers, and that's all I do is keep the sides in the back low and let his hair just pretty much come down. And that's his style. That's what he wanted. Like, okay. And even then, not going anything too crazy, but that's really the most he gets for his own hair. Oh boy, Toby, get put on the spot.
Right.
What up, Gil?
Hey. Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, Tor asked the question if
there's a lot. There's a lot. Sorry, my thing keeps lagging like crazy. Hold on. Let's see if I can refresh this. I would say I don't know if I have the story. If I'm the inside man. I think there was some joke that was made some stream ago about, I can't remember, but I do remember this conversation kind of coming up a little bit. I can't say. I'll let more details come out. There's legal stuff going on. I'm not trying to get ahead of myself or ahead of anyone else. And so I'm gonna say whatever you think might be kind of accurate. I'm gonna just say
no. Go ahead, get ahead of yourself. We're on YouTube. That's what
we will see.
That's what YouTubers do. I said, go ahead and get ahead of yourself. That's what YouTubers do.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. Too many filtrations or getting over your skis or whatever. Oh Lord.
Yeah. The things that I've heard.
I'm dead.
Mm-hmm. I will say this much, and then we'll jump into it. Rocky, actually, me and him, we had a talk when we came home. He came home from football practice, and we sat around. He talked, and he was like, "Yeah," he was like, "Feel like he wants to quit," and I was like, "Dude, like, why? Like, you've worked so hard to get to where you at." It's like, but even then, it's not necessarily about you getting playing time here. It's more so if you want to get playing time at a higher level. Most of your teammates, they may not even be college bound. They could be very good football players, but a lot of them, may not even go to college to play football on that level because it requires a little bit more dedication, a little bit more discipline, and you may not get there, right? And so he was like, yeah, yeah. I'm like, so like think about it like this. You already have college scouts looking at you as it is, anyways. Meesh!
Sheesh.
The number one Twitch mod is on YouTube. What's happening, homie?
Hey.
What's happening? Yes. So I told him, like, listen, you gotta think further down than what you're really seeing because a lot of these college coaches, a lot of these college football coaches, they're scouting you right now. They've probably been scouting you since last year. You would never know it. And so if they're looking at you where you're currently playing right now, you're being dedicated, you're giving it everything. Um, oh, spring of 2025. He graduates next year.
Oh, so this is his last year.
Yeah, this is his last year. He
Oh,
graduates next year. He graduates next year. And so I tell him, like, listen, even if you're on the kickoff and punt, you got to think about it like this. You're 6 foot, 6'1", 180, 185 pounds, but you're fast. Stupid fast, okay? Like, and again, case in point. By the time the punter gets the ball, gets ready, and kicks it, you're already down by the punt returner before he even catches the football. You're already down there. Mind you, you also don't worry, we'll be back. We'll be back.
Yeah, we're gonna be back on Twitch.
Yes. So you're already down there by the punt returner before the ball even gets there. That's how fast you are. And even then, by the time the returner decides to do a fair catch and catch the football, you're already in his face, just begging him to do something so you could put him on a highlight reel, right? He was like, yeah. So just think about that, just that speed and explosiveness just from the punt, right? Okay, you think about kickoff, right? By the time the kicker kicks the football downfield, you're getting your angles right. You're already down there soon as the kick returner catches the football and is trying to go up. And even then, depending upon how everything plays out, you're probably fast enough that if you need to hawk him down to stop him from scoring, yes, you probably could do so. And again, that's a highlight reel of his own self. And so when you think about it, you have a lot of people looking at you, scouting you, even though you may not be in the position that you want to be in, but you're still in a position to help the team out. That's what they're looking for. And even then, they're going to sit around and wonder, okay, why is he not on defense? Why is he not on offense? Why is he not in these skill positions? Because he has the speed, he has the physicality, he has the athleticism to play these positions. Why is he not playing those positions? If you decide to quit now, you just missed out on an opportunity that most of these kids on your team probably would love to take, but would never do. You have that. You have that opportunity. Why throw it away because of the current situation you're dealing with on the current football team? And even then, you're probably one of the better players at the skill position that you're trying to play on defense. Yeah. Oh no, we're talking about football right now. We're talking about football, going back to and yes, he's still doing Rocky, he is still doing track. Still doing track. So again, like, and I told him, like, you're playing football to get you ready for track. You play track to get you ready for football. And even if you don't get a scholarship for football, but you mess around, you get a scholarship for track, let's just say that the college you go to has a football team. again, the possibility for you are truly endless. Yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And so, just kind of put things in perspective. To them, like, dude, it's all about perspective. Like, you can't just write everything of what's currently happening. You have to think longer. You have to think long term, and as far as what it is you want to do. Like, we all know that you can play college football. You have the physicality. You can do it. But sometimes you have to go through the mess in order for you to get to where you need to go to. Like, in the same thing I'm telling you is the same thing I'm telling to my Rocket players. Like, listen, football is not a easy sport. It's really, really hard. It's very demanding. But as long as you don't quit on yourself and as long as you don't quit on your team, you can make it. You can make it. And it will carry on into other aspects of your life, not just sports, but in all areas, if you allow it. So he was like, okay, I can deal with it. I can deal with it. So that's off of that. And yes, I'll say this one thing too. Um, Messed around and was watching Cam Newton on this little podcast, and he was saying how he had first started off down in University of Florida, and he wanted to, win a championship with the University of Florida.
Right.
Coach at the time, I think it was Urban Meyer at the time. I think I could be wrong, but didn't give him that opportunity. So when the transfer portal opened up, he was like, okay, if I can't play for a team that's within the SEC or the ACC, one of those two, if I can't play a team from within the conference and I can't play for a team that's a part of like the top five, he was like, okay, cool. I know I'm going. Is the title an old one since talk football? It's not an old one. No, basically, Rocky asked a question about football, and then I'm just explaining it to him. Tor, don't worry, we got you. Don't worry, sit tight. And so, what was I gonna say? And so he was saying how, like, with him going to the transfer portal and actually him going to the University of Auburn was his ticket because the University of Auburn fit all the criterias. Plus, he messed around and won his championship with the University of Auburn. Like, yeah, they played to his strong suit, and he did it. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. So, football talk is done. Hold on. American football is done. We're done talking with American football, and we're gonna get into the real messiness of the last past few weeks now.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I'm still drinking my tea. Angela, I don't know if you're here, but I got my tea. It's good too. Yeah.
Name
But
check. Oh yeah, because there was something earlier about tea. Good. That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know before I start, Elle, you want to say something or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so I got this yogi tea. It's the detox, caffeine free. It is actually really good. It's really helpful and whatnot. And I just like the brand. I like the Yogi brand. I love the Yogi brand. But anyways, so I know I've been doing a lot of kind of like, is this really happening right now? Like, Diddy getting arrested and getting indicted? It's so like I'm kind of like not trying to look into it, but then again, I'm like, I'm really curious. Nice. Like, I'm really curious as far as what's been going on. What am I detoxing from? I am detoxing from all of the allergens that the Michigan atmosphere has been producing and causing my allergies to go through the roof, and I'm tired of it. And before you finished, before you came on, Mish, like I was trying to bring L on, and I was sneezing like two, three times, and my nose is just running and dripping. And Angela's like, "Yeah, you should blow your nose, drink some tea." So I blew my nose, drunk some tea, and I'm good. I'm good. Probably closer towards the end of the stream. Yes, yes. Time for some Diddy tea. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I probably put in some sleepy tea just so I can go to sleep. But no, I was doing. I was just kind of like, you know, on. I was on Twitter, right, and seeing. Cheers.
Well,
I
cheers
was
to
on.
that.
I was on Twitter, just because, and I'm like, okay, why are a lot of these celebrities deleting their Twitter posts, and what is? Yep, yep, Gil, yeah. Unfortunately, yep. I'm telling you, yes. And so I'm like, okay, what's really going on? And so I was reading an article that came across that was saying like how Justin Bieber had really shut himself out from social media and basically just cut ties with Diddy in general because he didn't want to get linked up to a lot of whatever was going on. It's like, okay, this is interesting. So reading the article and from what the article is seeing is saying, especially with the sources closest to Justin and even Justin coming out, it was like, nah, I got to separate myself from him just due to the fact that I don't want to be linked up with him. Like, I got a family I got to worry about right now. I got a wife, I got a kid. Like, I'm not trying to get, entangled in that. And I'm like, I respect that, like, for the most part. And so digging in a little bit deeper, it was like even with Justin Bieber being at 15, coming into the music scene, how he was really trying to separate himself from Diddy and not necessarily be seen like super close to him. And yeah, like, and even then, like a lot of people in Hollywood was like hitting on him. He's like, dude, like, you're asking some weird questions. I'm like 15, or why would you ask a 16-year-old that? Like, and even then, there was a one clip. He was like, "Dude, why are you asking me that when my mom is sitting right here in front of us? Like, what's wrong with y'all?" I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, there's some stuff going on," and I'm pretty sure Justin, he probably got a lot of tea to spill when the time comes, if he decides to spill it. But just knowing that he's been really separating himself from Diddy ever since he was 15 up until now, really separating himself. And even then, he was saying how, like, you know, after pretty much ghosted him for years, did he ask if he could do a feature on one of his albums? Like, yeah, sure, whatever, no big deal. And again, not necessarily thinking about it. And
Mm.
so, you know, year later after he did the feature, Diddy gets locked up and whatnot. He's like, and especially with a lot of the allegations that came up, we'll get into that too as well. He was like, had I known he was doing some weird stuff, I probably would not have done the feature. I probably would tell him, nah, I'm good, I'm straight. It's not worth it. But, you know, looking back on it now, again, hindsight is 2020. He's like, yeah, no, I'm good, I'm straight. And I think even his wife is coming out and saying, like, Yeah. Yes, right, Rocky. I saw that one too. And he was like, man, he's like, I think I just got molested. A lot of people, he got a, even though he was serious, he kind of joked it off, but you could kind of look like, dude, what is wrong with you? Why? Like,
Mhm.
I'm a, as my daughter was saying, I'm a minor. I'm a whole minor. Why are you doing this weird stuff to a whole minor? Like, that's
Right.
not cool.
Yeah, and like since he was a boy, and I'm sure the person who was molesting him was a woman,
Mm,
like for whatever reason, society doesn't see it as like as bad. I mean, I know the reasons, unfortunately, is because like, oh, he's a teenage boy, hormones. He probably feels like the luckiest guy, and blah blah blah, and like, girls are coming up to him and all that. He's like, he's so lucky. It's like, no, that is still a child. She should know better. In fact, she does know better, I'm sure.
yes,
Just taking advantage of young people. Like it's terrible. Like it's atrocious.
yes, yes. I agree. I agree. And even then, like the fact of the matter that Hollywood really is. Oh my gosh, coal miner. Yeah, yeah.
So it's
I,
SpongeBob. East? I thought you said West. Damn it, Patrick.
yeah.
Whoops.
Yes. Yeah, and even then, like the one article I read, I think I posted it in the Discord, but if I didn't, I'll try to find it. But the one article that I did read about what Justin was saying, like he pretty much excommunicated himself from the outside world. Like he's really keeping a tight lip. And like I said, even his wife is like, yeah, like he's not doing no interviews. He's not talking to a whole lot of people. Y'all just got to respect his privacy and understand, like, you know, yeah, he had some times with Diddy, but at the same time, because of the fact he was focused on his music, we got a kid, and just actually just trying to be a good dad and a good husband is like, you know, he's going through a lot right now. So just back off and just let him have some time, let him breathe and whatnot. So yeah, but again, Angela, to your point too, like a lot of celebrities are going like radio silent or deleting their Twitter posts or whatever the case may be. But if everybody remembered um the Shannon Sharp's podcast where he had Cat Williams on, and Cat Williams was like dropping a lot of nuggets, and he was like, don't be surprised, as this year goes on, a lot of stuff that was done in the dark starts coming up to light. It was like, do not be surprised. Do not be surprised.
Yeah, and I think that interview was like the beginning of this year, right? 2024.
Yep. Yep. But even then, I mean, even though we may not have taken him, for granted, but he was talking about this back in 2020, back in 2004. So like 20 years ago, he's been saying some weird stuff that's been going on, and like how a lot of these Hollywood parties, that's what happens. Like you would think that it's all glitz and glamour. It's like, nah, there's a dark and dirty underworld to the Hollywood life, and mm-mm, it's not huh, it's not for him. But just to let people know, it's like, hey, there's some stuff that's going on that y'all gonna realize And when y'all find out that I wasn't blowing smoke, but I was actually being genuine and telling y'all the truth about all of this happening,
Mm-hmm.
you're welcome. In the words of Cat Williams, you're welcome.
Yeah.
True. 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 True.
I haven't read enough about this. Like, I've heard some things. The thing that I did hear that was pretty new was the arson thing with him threatening. Was it Cassie's? Well, I guess Cassie was dating. What's that guy's name? Kid Cudi, I think. Or it was something like that where he was threatening. I guess like I'll blow up the car, and then he did blow up the car. I had no idea that even happened. Like I didn't even know that Kid Cudi's car had been blown up. So I just don't follow a lot of celeb news. I know some high profile deaths, of course, that have happened, like Pop Smoke and PNB Rock, which I just actually heard some news about today. That was actually kind of really sad, but that's a whole other story. But like I did not know about this, so there's like some random things, but a lot that I just don't know, and so I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a deeper dive on it at some point, but for now, I'm just kind of seeing stuff trickle in as I hear it. I know one group I'm in, a bunch of them said that there were like high profile like music execs that were resigning, or business people, or someone who was resigning. I actually haven't seen independent articles in that, but I saw a bunch of screen grabs in it of those headlines, and I was like, that sounds pretty freaking huge. So like, yeah, people who clearly are part of something or connected to something, and they're like, you know, no. I said nothing. It was just Chick-fil-A, some leftover. Well, I didn't fully eat it earlier for lunch, but it's all good. But yeah.
Yeah, like
Go ahead, Oya.
no, go on, Ron, and I'll follow up after you.
Oh no. Go for it. You take it. Go.
Okay. I was just gonna say, like, the only stuff I've really been hearing has just been on like TikTok, and it's really hard to believe things on TikTok because there's a lot of conspiracy theories and just misinformation just thrown out there. And it's, I don't know, it could just definitely be like, levels of brain rot. But yeah, that's where I found out about like the baby oil thing. And this one guy made a video like conceptualizing it. So he like had one of those like, I forget what they're called, but like those like programs, those apps that you can like kind of build things on, like architects would probably use it, or like people who use like 3D printers, something like to conceptualize things in a 3D space. So he got 1,000 bottles of baby oil like on the screen, and he was just like showing it like in like a 3D space, dragging the cursor around to show you just how much 1,000 bottles of baby oil is, like what it looks like, how much space it takes up specifically. And it's like if you were to stack the baby oils on top of each other, it would like be as tall as like a 2-story building, or probably something taller than that. Like it was, yeah, definitely taller than 2 stories for sure. Like I forgot how many stories, so like 13 or something. And but like, yeah, but like it's just like that was just in his house. Like you just have that much baby oil in your house. Like that is insanity. That is so freaking crazy.
Right.
Like the fact that he had the forethought that this is an amount that he is going to use. Like it's like, oh, let me stock up on baby oil. Like, what kind of parties are you having that you need that much baby oil?
Right.
Like, yeah. Like,
Oof, not the Scorpio.
I don't even think that. Like, that's just like the parties lasted for days, mind you. Oh,
Yeah. Yes.
oh, because they were like drug filled, like ecstasy filled. I'm sure, just like yeah. Oh man, that's insane. Like that is insanity. Like I don't know. That's crazy. Especially to be a host of one of those parties. Like I don't even know when that would be like I don't know. Like if you're like young in your 20s and you're just rich, I guess, or have nothing to like and everyone's consenting to this, but like that's still like I don't even want to like think of a moment where that's like okay because that's just that that's just a lot like that yeah that's a freaking bender. Oh yeah, for sure. That's another
Yeah.
thing too. It's like the fact that he owned like he had that much, he bought that much because he knew it was going to be used like that. It's like during the pandemic when people were worried about getting a bunch of like hand sanitizer, like stocking up on hand sanitizer. Was he stuck? He's like, oh no, I really hope people don't touch the baby oil.
Yeah.
Like, God forbid they use it on actual babies for what it's intended. Imagine like just new mothers trying to get baby oil and then they can't. Only now is on the radar.
Right.
I think I heard something like that too, where it's like that's the craziest part somehow when there's like more. I mean, I guess it's so visceral.
I think because there's like a number tied to it.
Yeah.
It's usually like it's sad because it's like, oh, women or underage girls getting sexually molested, sexually harassed. It's just like, oh, celebrity, like that's really bad, but that's just like what it is. Like people just don't. But like once they found out that he also had sex with men, then like people's ears perked up, kind of crap. Like it doesn't matter like the abuse that he did on Cassie or like or any of the other previous women he's been with. It doesn't matter about like if it's like done to a woman, it's like excuses. Well, he has a lot of money, that kind of crap. But if it's like, oh my goodness, he might be gay, he might be bisexual. We have to care now. Like, yo, but yeah, go on. But yeah, there's just like way too many like red flags. But like this, it's like gay baby oil. It's like, oh, it might have been gay sex they were doing. It's like that's when people's ears perk up. It's sad.
It is.
There was something. I remember, like, I'll send a post of it in the Discord. But there was like a live stream that sort of a more leftist group, they were looking at it and they were saying that the homophobia might actually be helping Diddy apparently because maybe it could be a backlash or people are focusing on the wrong things. And maybe there's even going to be some defense of him. Apparently the lawyers are already starting to use a strategy that is like, what's the word? They're trying to say sexual freedom, which is insane because what freedom did the victims have? But they're trying to say some kind of sexual freedom argument. And, that might work in some, I don't really think it will. Like, you're going to see abuse and you're going to probably see an actual abuse, some victim testimony, but maybe in the public opinion court, you might try to get some kind of like, well, it's just about freedom. And it's like, no, we're not going to co-opt this freedom language. Like he saw Kamala Harris run and it was like, well, maybe if she can do it, I'm just going to start using freedom. to describe Lord knows anything in your life. Like I'm trying to remember if I can remember a comment I saw on that live where it's like freedom. People are like misconstruing like freedom as like you can just do anything to anyone, or they said it better, but it was just like you can kind of like no, it was just like no, this is not how this works. Actually,
Right.
this is not how this works.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Gotta say allegedly. Got
Right.
to.
Got
You
got a
got to
caveat.
be more
Got a
careful.
caveat.
Got to be more careful. But even then, like I was I was getting ready for work today. Just so happened to be on Snap. And mm,
Yeah.
this is I'm glad you brought that up, Angela. Glad you brought this up because y'all remember like way back in like the early 2000s, maybe like the late 90s, early 2000s, um, Jay Z and R. Kelly did a Best of Both Worlds tour.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, like, there was a lot of stuff that was going on between R. Kelly and Jay Z and how they were bumping heads at the concerts. And
Hmm.
R. Kelly felt as though that he was getting the short end of the stick. Mind you, Diddy has relationships with both R. Kelly and Jay Z, like
Right.
professional lives. And
Yeah.
so Diddy was trying to tell Kelly, like, hey, cool, calm down, just you go in, you make this money, you do what you got to do, and then leave. Let's not get this thing going and yada yada yada. Allegedly, allegedly, what R. Kelly was saying was Jay Z had some of his peoples come up to the shows, armed and dangerous, to pretty much force Kelly to drop. And even then, at one of the shows, there was a physical altercation that sent R. Kelly to the hospital.
Mm.
Diddy didn't say anything about none of that. He was just silent the whole time, remotely silent. And R. Kelly felt as though Diddy betrayed him. And now it's like a lot of the stuff that happened during that time is coming back up. On top of the fact that there could be a really um, twisted connection between him and Jennifer Lopez when they were younger. Also with him and Aaliyah, because of course Diddy was trying to holler at Aaliyah, or Kelly was trying to holler at Aaliyah, and Jay Z was also trying to holler at Aaliyah. And so it's just like there's a lot of messiness that's going on that's slowly coming to light because then again, if you go back to the podcast with Shannon Sharp and Cat Williams said it like this. He said, don't be surprised in 2024. I'm pretty much going to paraphrase it. He said, don't be surprised in 2024 if a lot of stuff start coming to light that puts your favorite celebrities in some hot water and the truth is going to expose them for who they really are. I'm like, yeah, that's a lot of people. Because when you think about all the people that Diddy worked with, it's like that's a lot. Not not knowing what he's done during his career that could very well get looked at and just be laid out on Front Street. So it's really going to be, I don't know, it's going to be something else.
The only person who's acting like the only person who's presenting as innocent might be 50 Cent. I mean, this man does not stop trolling, but like I guess he apparently has warned people in the past, whatever. Like I just had to
Mhm.
because I saw Angela mention the Jay-Z is not innocent thing, and just generally the vibe of like who's getting caught up in this. I guess 50's probably not getting caught up in it since he has been like almost like downfall worshiping. I mean, I don't say worshiping, but definitely like people say he revels in the downfall. So I guess he's kind of separate from some of these things. A lot of people have been like, yeah, this man's been warning, or this man's been kind of already side eyeing the situation. But I'm trying to think of like other more powerful people and old school people who've been in the industry. Like, how much did some of those people know? But I don't know.
You consider 50 old school?
Well, I mean, I know it's a whole thing. 50's been around. I mean, him being shot and all that. I mean, there's stuff that's like the lore of hip hop. I feel like if you're in the 2000s, early 2000s,
Yeah, I agree. I
like
see
I
what
understand
you're
it's not
saying.
like literally like Grandmaster Flash level or like
Mm.
Pac Biggie, but still, I would say you know it's a different era.
Ooh,
Mhm.
yes. What Chad is saying right here, that
Oof.
comment
Yeah.
right there. Yes. Yes. My
Mm.
my ninth grade history teacher said it like this: absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Mhm.
And so when I think about a lot of what's happening, like you could tell there was something brewing, but it's like, what's really going on? And even then, like when we think about when R. Kelly finally got put in the slammer and for all the stuff that he did, it was like, yeah, that man should have been locked away and thrown underneath the jail like 1,000 times over. Yeah, agree.
Yeah,
Agree.
I was just
It's
gonna say
so
that, Angela. Like, I remember I was told once, like, like when they say like money is power, or like, yeah, like absolute. I don't know, like something, but like power and corruption, or money. Like, money doesn't, like money gives you power, of course, but it doesn't necessarily corrupt you. Only if like you are already like, I guess, of that mindset essentially. And of course, you know, if you were like, I grew up around in that such like, I don't know, were like abused when you were younger, or mistreated, or this and that, like it definitely has like a part of it, because now you want to, or now they may want to like do the same thing, or just be totally like free, when in reality they're just hiding a huge part of themselves and they're just hurting. But money doesn't really, but yeah, exactly what Angela said. Like money and power just reveals what's already there. Like this is how these people already were. That's why like there are rich people who are just minding their own business. They know that that craziness goes on, because it's like, well, yeah, of course, you know, but it's like, yeah, they just want to like have a bunch of money and just mind their own business. Uh, mm. That's true. Consequences are a huge part of society too, because like when there isn't any consequences, you kind of just continue doing the same sort of thing. Like I guarantee you, if like one of our jobs were to contact us saying like, "Hey, can you stop streaming?" like we would like, I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I would probably personally stop. I mean, even though like what I'm doing isn't like against, my job, I'm not like competing with my job, because it has nothing to do with live streaming. But
right.
like if they were just like, we don't want you doing that, this is a warning, because like, reasons, I'd be like, oh well, my job pays my bills. like, love you guys. I'll be in the comments, sort of thing.
Ah!
But like, yeah, that would be the consequence. But since like these people aren't losing their jobs, aren't getting arrested, still running for president,
Mm-hmm.
and like
Mm-hmm.
are still just massively wealthy, they can just do whatever the hell they want to do. And like a lot of people
Right.
want that. A lot of just normal civilians want that kind of power. And you can see it in like how people comment, who people follow, who people respect, who people idolize. Like if they're out here, like I'll be honest, I'm a big Jay-Z fan. If like crap goes out like this, and like which may happen, where if he turns out that he's you know freaking corrupt and has done a bunch of like illegal, like like things like Diddy, like illegal, like selling drugs, that's fine, whatever. But like, like illegal, like, like the things that Diddy is being accused of, and like, or, then I would, and if he gets arrested, I'll be happy about that. Like, I'll be like, okay, good, justice has been served, finally. I wouldn't be like, oh no, not another powerful black man down. Why are they always trying to take them away? It's like, no, this is bad. He should be punished for his like, there should be consequences for these kinds of actions. Like, how about we just uplift another black man who hasn't done these things? We can find them. They exist. There's so many.
Yes. Yes.
It's just ridiculous, but yeah, no, like
yeah,
it'll hurt. It'll hurt really bad. But it's like, yeah, if that's the case, then now we learn, and then we're supposed to grow and move forward, and find just better people.
Right.
It's really not that hard.
So as I was making my second cup of tea, and I was sitting there thinking about it, like, so just out of curiosity and just want to kind of like stir the pot a little bit. If the allegations of what Diddy has done came out to be true, and if there was a plea bargain to be put in place, do you guys believe or think Diddy will rat out a lot of people? And if so, who would those people be on the top of your list?
If he were to rat out a lot of people,
yeah. What was the last part of? So you're saying if the allegations turn out to be true, rat out a lot of people. DJ Khaled. Sorry, I thought you were making a joke of the DJ Khaled thing, like yelling his name. I literally read it in his voice. I was like, wait, what's the reference? DJ Khaled, another one? And I was like, oh, wait, no, you're literally, okay, crap. These are all people who could very well be involved. I mean, huge thing with Rocky said, though I did want to kind of make sure I caught your question, Ron, with if all these things turn out to be true, he rats out on people or telling on people. Yeah. What was the core of the question after that?
Okay, so basically, if all the allegations that's been made up against Diddy are true, and if Diddy were to take a plea bargain, who would be the top people he would rat out on? Because again, Angela, she said DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, Jay-Z, Usher.
Sure.
I can see those for sure. I could definitely see those. and even then, like,
Right. That's
Which I only knew this recently. Like this isn't something I knew really before, but I remember seeing like that's the thing. Usher, while he's been around, he's been doing his shows. He was young, like at that time, and it's actually crazy to look at that age gap and be like, "Oh snap!" Usher was like still like I don't know if it was 17, I don't know if it was younger, but he was young at a time where he was being sort of like. I mean, even without the word groomed, but he's being mentored or whatever. There's a picture of them, or I don't know. There's just dynamics. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's more of a complicit thing that you could say where, I don't know. But I feel like you can make the same argument with Justin if it's like a complicity thing.
Mm-hmm.
Fed Diddy Bieber. Interesting. Well, yeah, because so that's interesting because I forgot that pipeline of Usher was the guy who discovered Bieber. Now, I never really knew about Diddy and all of this because I just wasn't super literate when it came to like producers and like the industry, big players. But I do remember back then always knowing about like Ludacris and Bieber on Baby, of course, and then Usher was supposed to be who discovered him. But that's interesting. I guess I'll have to look more into that, and maybe Usher has something. I mean, I hope not. That almost sounds like one of those cases where you have someone who is being abused or is like a kidnapped victim, and they have to like help recruit more people, or like if you're in the cult and you have to like recruit more people, kind of for your own survival. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying it's that desperate. It's that like, but it almost seems like, was he under at that point abuse, and then he also helped find someone, and what was the motivation of that if he was still at the time being, messed around with? And of course, all allegedly or all not even allegedly at this point, it's just kind of all assumptions. But I do wonder what that motivation would have been.
Ooh, yes. Thank you, El, for bringing this up. And here's another weird thing just to kind of throw this around, right? So we all know that, of course, Jeffrey Epstein, he had a list of people who was at the, yes, Angela, yes. Like, had a list of people that were on there, right? And so I'm thinking as I'm looking at things and how things are kind of like slowly but surely like piecing themselves together. Like at one point in time, of course, him and Trump, they were pretty much buddy buddy, especially in like the, I would say, late 90s, early 2000s.
You're talking about
Very
Epstein?
much. No, talk about Diddy and Trump.
Really? Okay. Okay.
Like there's pictures of the two of them like together and whatnot, and especially with a younger version of Melania. There were pictures of those three hanging out together, and whew,
She dated Diddy's son and Diddy himself?
And so like, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Whew, yes. So again, like there's a lot of that could be said because again, like when we think about the music industry and how deep and how far it actually goes and how it runs and how it also crosses over into Hollywood and vice versa, there's a lot that goes on behind closed doors that, again, arguably we don't know about because of that fact of the matter. And again, looking back at 2004, when Cat Williams, when he was saying like, yeah, like these little mansion parties that people in Hollywood be throwing, it's crazy as well because in all the rooms there's yeah, come on, Lucky. Come on, Lucky. You catching on. You're catching on. And so when Cat Williams, he was saying like, yeah, going to these whole. He said going to the mansion parties in Hollywood is like in the smaller rooms. There's like many parties happening within the main party, and it's like there'll be celebrities that he was saying like, wait a minute, what are they doing? And why is this happening? And then put the celebrities out there is like, huh? Is this what we're really doing? Is this what's really going on? But you fast forward 20 years later with Cat Williams, he was like, yeah, on Shannon Sharp, he was like, listen, he was like, sometimes when you come up, when Diddy approaches you and he's like, hey, you want a party? You got to tell him no. Because if you don't tell him no, he's going to keep egging and keep going around and this and the third. And even then, there was an interview that 50 Cent did with, what was it, Hot 97 or The Breakfast Club, one of those two.
Okay.
Where, of course, they're at an event and all the big players are there. And then he comes up to 50. He's like, hey, you want to go shopping? He was like, what? 50's like, yeah. He's like, Diddy approached him. Like, yeah, you want to go shopping? He's like, I'm going to go take you shopping. Da, 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 da.
Okay.
And 50 was like, it's like, now, y'all, he said, think about what I'm saying. What grown man asks another grown man if they want to go shopping? Like, we're not talking about like, car shopping, jewelry shopping, we're not talking about that. Like, no, we talking about clothes shopping.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I thought about it. I was like, that's kind of weird. Like, no, he's like, no, I'm good, straight. I'm not trying to do that. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of weird because like it's weird, but then again, I could also see how it not being weird. But
right,
then
exactly.
Again, I've had people, mentors, tell me like, hey, one of these days we got to get together, go buy suits. Like, sure, why not?
I guess because like that's a specific thing, like what you listed was like car shopping, jewelry shopping, but it's like, let's go shopping unless there was like multiple things nearby in walking distance and like, but if they were at like a party, is that what you said?
Yeah,
Or,
they
like,
were at a party.
Like an event, and they said, let's go shopping. Like was that his first time meeting him?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, and again, this is why 50 Cent and Diddy, they don't get along at all because 50 Cent, he doesn't like Diddy whatsoever. Doesn't. He's like, nah, not at all. Not at all. But yeah, he was just like, yeah, Diddy is just weird. But going back to Rocky's post, I don't think it's the fact that the death threats. It's more so the fact of the kind of lifestyle she lived when her and Diddy were dating at one point in time, and how she kind of got introduced to that dark side. And if you think about all of the men she's been with after Diddy, a lot of them are like, I don't think this is gonna work. I don't find that going to work out a lot. And there's some other stuff that I've watched recently, and it kind of got my head scratching. Like, is this really happening? Like, are we really doing this right now? Like, I guess it had to be like probably a year ago. Diddy was on, what show was it? What late night show? Was it David Letterman? Jimmy Kimmel. I think it was Jimmy Kimmel. And Jimmy was saying like, yeah, he's like, one of your ex security guards said that at one point in time, when you and Jayla were dating, that Jada and Will was asking if J-Lo wanted to have a threesome. He was like, and you kind of threatened him saying, "Nah, that's not going to happen." And Kim was like, you know, is that what happened? True. And you kind of see the look on Diddy's face just go like from happy-go-lucky to like drop dead serious. He's kind of like, "You said what now?" He's like, "Yeah, there was some allegations saying that allegedly that this happened, and it came from your former security guard." And he was like, "Do you really believe everything that you see here on the internet?" And and the crowd laughed. And he was like, "Well, you didn't answer the question." He was like, "Why would I answer a question to something that I know could be very well false, and you're just trying to stir the pot?" Or even then, the ex security guard is trying to stir something up that didn't even happen. Like,
Right.
Yeah. But then again, the same ex security guard got some video footage of some very graphic stuff happening. It's like, well, security guard may not have been too far off, but at the same time, it's like, we don't know. We weren't there, and we got to take this man's word over somebody else's. Like, I don't know. But I do find it interesting how I think somebody mentioned it, how like a lot of the stuff that's happening is based out of New York. If
Oh, is it?
anybody,
Okay.
because of course he had his LA home rated. He also had his Miami home rated, and he got booked while he was in New York at one of his getaway places, if you would.
Mm.
If anybody knows a lot of New York history and whatnot, sometimes with all the glitz and glamour removed, New York is not necessarily the best place.
Oh God, no. New York is so bad. Oh
I
my
want to
God.
say, so. Like his main place of residence is in New York. That's what I want to say. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong, but I want to say yeah.
Yeah, I think it's either New York or LA. I don't think it's Miami.
Yeah, no.
Um, but like I'm pretty sure he's from New York, right?
I want to say yeah.
Because I know that Biggie's from New York.
Hmm.
So like I would assume the Combe twins. I didn't know he had twins. Can someone read it? What is their IG? Let me see if I can find it. Um the Combs twins. Oh. Yeah, this literally did just come out. I can read it. Um uh okay, it just starts with like one quotation, but it doesn't have like an ending quotation. So probably a typo. Sorry, just a little pet peeve of mine. We have seen so many hurtful and false rumors circulating about our parents, Kim Porter and Sean Combs' relationship, as well as about our mom's tragic passing, that we feel the need to speak out. Claims that our mom wrote a book are simply untrue. She did not. And anyone claiming to have a manuscript is misrepresenting themselves. Additionally, please understand that any so called friend speaking on behalf of our mom or her family is not a friend, nor do they have her best interests at heart. Our lives were shattered when we lost our mother. She was our world, and nothing has been the same since she passed. While it has been incredibly difficult to reconcile how she could be taken from us too soon, the cause of her death has long been established. There was no foul play. Grief is a lifelong process. And we ask that everyone respect our request for peace as we continue to cope with her loss every day. We are deeply saddened that the world has made a spectacle of what has been the most tragic event of our lives. Our mother should be remembered for the beautiful, strong, kind, and loving woman she was. Her memory should not be tainted by horrific conspiracy theories. We ask that everyone please respect our mother, Kim Porter, and hold her legacy in high regard so that she may rest in peace. It's what she deserves. We love you and miss you, Mommy. Quincy, Christian, Jesse, and Delilah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
This is
that's
mostly about the fake book that was being sold on Amazon was falsely present as being written by Kim.
interesting. I didn't know about
Oh,
that.
that's disgusting.
Wow.
Huh.
That's true at the beginning. Yeah. I mean, a false rumor circulating about our parents. I mean, I'm sure some of the stuff that's been circulating about P. Diddy is false, but they look young, probably like in their early 20s, late teens, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some things that are false, but it's probably the things that they're hoping that they think are false may not be false, though. These feds are taking too long to release more tea. Well, that's what the feds do. They're just, I mean, they go through things thoroughly, but like sometimes you're wondering, it's like, are they trying to cover anything up? Because it's like, why now? How are these feds to be trusted? Are they paid off? Are they corrupt? It's like it's sad that this is like what we live in. Like we have, police officers that review themselves and find out that nothing's wrong with their precinct. It's like, oh, okay, y'all just reviewed yourselves. Y'all raided his apartment ages ago, and we just now finding out about baby oil. I'm aggravated. Maybe it's a massive house. Probably a lot of nooks and crannies, but still. I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
I
you're
think
right.
in terms of like how long between the
They
raid and
release,
broken and then these
yeah,
breakdowns. Well, I'm not. Yeah, I guess I have to look at the timeline of it because when did the raid happen? 'Cause I do remember there was a raid. Some time passed, and then of course the arrest. But I don't remember how much time it was, and maybe I don't know. It is interesting because I guess it's not until the indictment and the actual presentation of stuff. Otherwise, it's always just going to be an evidence and secret. Like who knows what they have if they're planning to bring more charges or what hasn't been sort of put in the public record. It's it's a tough thing, but as for anything to be corrupted, yeah, I could see that. I mean, I'm hoping it doesn't come to that where it's like, Lord, like actual corruption of evidence, but I can kind of see the fear of that too, where it's like, what's happening in the meantime, what's happening in the middle.
mm, true. And this has just been a freaking crazy year with like
Yeah.
just everything. With like
Yes, I
the
agree.
election and like so much stuff in such a short amount of time. Yeah, his apartment was
No,
raided in March. That's true. It was like the beginning of the year.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. And even then, like I'm that one weird crazy nut. I'm like, if and when if and when the courts decide to indict him and all this other good stuff, like the amount of people that he worked with that could very well get put under criminal investigation as well. Whoo-wee, that's going to be a lot of folks, and a lot of high profile people that were very very close to him that were like, wait, ain't no way, ain't no way.
Mm-hmm.
But we shall monitor the results as they come to us and play it by ear because I mean, Cat Williams did say this much. 2024, pretty much everything's going to get revealed.
I wonder how he knew that.
Well, it, and the thing is, right? And the thing is too, like when you work in Hollywood and when you live in Hollywood, you know certain stuff, and you know when certain things are going to happen. It just needs the right catalyst to make it happen. Right, Angela. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so when you get Cat Williams, who pretty much started from nowhere and really got got a huge break in Hollywood, and it just flows, but at the same time, I think someone said like he's that one person where you don't necessarily take seriously and you kind of always oftentimes overlook. But a lot of the gems that he does drop is like, well, hold on. You're saying something, doing some more research and whatnot. Like a lot of the stuff you're saying is oddly enough making sense. I don't want to say you're right, but at the same time, you're also not necessarily wrong. And so it's really going to be very fascinating, especially if there is going to be a trial. What's that going to look like, and how is that going to play out as the months, years to come?
Yeah.
I agree with what Angela said too. There's some people who have high levels of discernment. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And those be the main ones that be saying, "Hey, y'all need to look at this." And told me over there playing Tetris, probably.
No, definitely not. What I was trying to capture, like I was trying to look at. There's so many of these things that I'm trying to like gather for later, sources and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Obviously, we're like getting pretty late, so we'll have
Oh,
to wrap
shoot.
up on this. But best believe there will be things to discuss in the live or in the what do you call it in the Discord.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, definitely, 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 and some other stuff because, like I said, I know I posted some stuff that I found like very interesting. Like, I wonder what this would be like. Like, oh, I wonder how this one could play out. Or, hey, what's your thoughts on this? So, huh, yeah, just very very interesting to say the least. And I got my tea for it. I got my tea for it.
Literally and figuratively. Yeah, of course. Definitely
yeah.
share. Yeah, share it in the Discord. For anybody working, I'm going to.
Yeah, it's like even with the crazy amount of stuff, what could be true. As there has to be some amount, right? So you kind of take that into account too. So very true, Rocky. You know, yes.
Yeah, my bad, Angela. I thought you were on our Discord. Cause right when I shared our stream on Discord, you joined, and I was like, oh, yay! But hey, this is great that you came on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. Are you subscribed to us? Please.
Oh,
Definitely.
that actually makes sense because I just invited Angela, someone I know, so I just invited her, and
Oh, gotcha.
like some hours before the stream, and so I'm wondering from the YouTube channel if we have the Discord on there, but those links usually expire, so I don't know. I didn't look in the Discord in the main channel, like the announcements or whatever, to see the join in, but that's actually interesting.
Mm-hmm. Woo!
Hey,
Yes.
oh, look at you.
Yes. Hey, thanks for subscribing.
Okay, that's not how exactly. That's not exactly how that happened.
I made it short, so I believe it.
Yeah, I guess we'll go with it.
That's that charm.
We are tinfoiling, hatting, and conspiracy theorying up in here today.
Yes, we always love a good conspiracy theory session. It's like we know better, but then also it's not even just about that. Like some things end up being true for real. So it's like it's kind of fun to see that kind of in this space where it's like, yeah, let's give a safe space for some conspiracies and some odd things, just some odd stuff, just some oddities, and let's talk about some of those. So yeah, welcome.
Yeah, I got an IG. I'll share it in the chat. That's my IG.
Boom, boom.
It's also my Twitter, TikTok.
Oh yes, Twitter.
Threads.
The queen of Twitter.
Barely haven't tweeted in God knows how long.
Yeah, no, I unfortunately have to be off that app, so I'm like, I might just do my own review just to be like, let me collect some of the best of what people have posted, but to see things in real time is no. Like it's usually an accident or it gets linked from a news article, and then I'm like, oh god, now I have to open this app, or I don't have the app installed on my phone, but I'll open the website.
Right, Sam. I don't have it on my phone anymore. I deleted it I don't even know how long ago. Maybe 2 years now at this point.
Yeah, Sam.
Yeah, almost 2 years.
Might be 3. I think when I got a new phone in February 2021, I was like, you know what? Let's just not reinstall Twitter on this phone, and that's what started. And now I'm happy to say I have no no social media on my phone. I have another device that I do kind of keep a lot of apps on, but my phone all gone. So thankfully, except Facebook, I think I had to get Facebook back in, and Threads, but let's not even talk about Threads because that app I actually might have to get off my phone too. I'm actually kind of annoyed at some of the notifications. But in any case, about you. You said you were smart. Jesus Christ.
You were a smart joy.
I don't think those are the exact words, but I did mention. Well, that's only because I'm not here to dox anyone. But I'm just gonna say that there's some similarities. I think I just said kind of like gamer, tech person, something. Let's just say without doxing anyone that it's a large region where you're both from, but it's a very similar region. So let's just say that I was like, oh snap, one of my co-hosts is also from. Obviously, everyone who kind of knows us, but I'm not trying to give out states. But let's just say that state is a shared origin. So I was like, and you're both Caribbean. So hey,
okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't just like a random thing. It was kind of. Any case, I don't recall that. Did you not? Don't recall that. I don't know. I'm just speaking in vagities. Is that even a word?
Well, to
It
you
is now.
for tonight, yes, it is.
Yeah, it is now.
It's very random.
Yeah, I mean, Twitter has just gone down the toilet though. Like I just stay like whenever I do go and I just have it on my laptop, and whenever I do, I'm just like just look at following. I don't bother looking at the For You anymore because let me actually like look at For You. Like what are they even saying? People in guns, like holding guns at like a what looks to be a Chick-fil-A. Okay, that's the first thing I see. One liberal teen versus 20 Trump supporters screenshot. Can one woke teen survive 20 years?
I've seen that on YouTube a bunch, like that headline.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I don't. Like, it's just like crap like this. I'm like, I don't. Also, like, a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, I look at TikTok, kind of a lot. Like, I actually reinstalled it on my phone. So I wanted to post something, but I just never have. Like, I posted maybe like one or two things ever on TikTok like years ago. I don't know, but I do like the information I get from TikTok, but at the same time, you have to sift through a lot of just conspiracy crap, and I just can't. Just so probably after the election, I might just delete it again. Yeah, I do like Threads a lot though. Threads is I don't use it that much, but like whenever I do, it's kind of fun. Like it feels like very new Twitter, like Twitter when it was young, and there's no ads on Threads either, so it's kind of nice. That's probably why it feels a little bit more calm, and you don't really see like I don't know. You just don't really see garbage.
That is true.
On Twitter, you see so much garbage. Like, I feel like I see a lot of garbage on TikTok as well. I like Threads too. You don't see Elon. Yeah, I've muted Elon like years ago, and I see like screenshots of what he posts like on Reddit and sometimes on Threads, but mainly on Reddit. And Reddit's gone bad too because you have to use their app, and their app is just trash. It's getting very like algorithmy, like TikTok, where it's just like you look at one thing once for a long time, and it's like, oh, this is what you want, huh? So we're just gonna keep giving it to you. It's like, no, I don't want to really see this, but I don't want to unsubscribe from the subreddit because I still like following the subreddit, but I don't want to just see only that from the subreddit. So yeah, it's
you're just referring
really
to the main homepage of like all like I really don't go to the main homepage, but sometimes when I click from my email, it'll show a flash of it and then go to the post that I click, and I was like, oh, y'all aren't clever. Y'all basically forcing me to be on a For You page, which I really despise. Like those paid landing pages, like if I can only ever just go to the post like that I'm looking at, or me creating something, that would be wonderful. But those landing pages and then like the forever scroll or the too deep scroll or whatever, I'm like, no. So Reddit, I mean, I'm sure it might have always been like this, but I typically only go from when I click a link. And the Reddit's nice for saving your history. So if you kind of go back, it usually goes back to the last thing you visited versus Instagram, my God, which oftentimes will force you back to the main homepage if you've been diddling too long or whatever. Maybe not diddling, but what's the daddling, like the dither and daddling? Yeah, yikes, not diddling. So it'll take you back. not Diddy Bob. That's another. Anyways, I can't do this right now. So, yeah, but that's a whole nother thing. We've talked a bit about being slaves to the algorithm and similar topics. Because we have some multifaceted people out here, some kings and queens. So we feel very heavily that nonsense with the algorithm. And love hate it. It is what it is. God, Facebook has been bad actually recently. I keep getting just the one group, this like black anime group. That's Jesus Christ. This black anime group. Which actually, you know what? Let's actually talk about that because they be freaky in this group and posting some big old tiggle biddies or whatever and some anime-esque. I don't even want to share the post that I've seen in this group because it's like horny o'clock and it's like we don't need to be doing this right now. And so it's like called 50. It's called 50 Shades of Black Anime. I guess technically the name is a little suggestive, but 50 Shades of Black Anime doesn't mean we have to be like freaky every single post. Either like bots who are basically trying to like sell sex or real people who just post things or post suggestive questions or talk about some insane stuff. And I'm like, yo, what are we doing right now? And so every time I open Facebook, it's like that page. It'll show a post from that page. I'm like, why? Don't I have literal friends? Why am I seeing stuff from like from my? I mean, I do sometimes actually see things from friends, but yeah, the algorithm is actually trying. I could unsubscribe from that group, but I don't know. Like it could be a little entertaining. Planet Jobin, Journey of a Black.
Oh yeah, I love that one. Yeah.
That one I don't see as much, but I used to, and that was cool. And then there was another one that was like a different black anime page that I can't remember. But a little less freaky, you know. Just stay away from nude Africa. Oh God, I didn't even know that was a thing. So now I'm like, oh gosh, like I'm just like that sounds like some old school Black Planet, MySpace, like stuff that I wasn't using back in the day, but I kind of hear about more now. Oh, MySpace I knew about. Black Planet I didn't really know about until it's been mentioned on this stream in the past years, and I'm like, where have I been? Yeah, but yeah, Friday freak off at Angela's. It's going down. I'm not gonna be here, so I'm running this enterprise remotely because I'm going to be in upstate New York for a anniversary. And so the freak off will happen in my absence. So
allegedly.
Thank you. Allegedly. Lots of asterisks. Allegedly.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, Rocky. Yeah, no, I know the Mark Robinson nonsense. Yeah, that's a whole other yikes. That and like the Haitian between that and Haitian pets, it's just too much nonsense. Like I'm like, this can't even be covered. Like there'd be too many things to happen in a given stream. Like by the time the next stream comes, and it's like this is like, are we gonna cover all of this, or are we just gonna like let's talk about something else that's not like the politics is good and it's good we've been focused on it because it's important. But it's like, man, I don't know. Like, is there gonna be a space for all these things? Because it's gonna just get weirder and weirder as we get closer to November.
Yeah, it's not even October yet, so we still have to do the October surprise.
Oh gosh, the September surprise is the Fed rate cut. Apparently, maybe also this Mark Robinson thing. Honestly, maybe the Diddy thing is like, what if a bunch of like, because this man kind of like Sam Bankman-Fried, that didn't have much political fallout. I think it just happened. But what if like a bunch of Democrats he donated to, or just like cohort with, like commingled with, or was in cahoots with, and it's like this is the scandal of the century. It's like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden it turns out Chuck Schumer was at a freak off. No, I didn't actually say that, but I'm just saying. I actually don't even want to see that. I'm sorry I even put that image in y'all's minds. So blue,
my head hurts.
I am taking the blue pill, but it's called Adderall. So in terms of what Angela said about taking a pill, I'm not consistent with it, but I can be consistent if requested to take the blue pill and show up to one of these freak offs. Just know, it can go down. So 1,000
people.
Literally, no, this stream in a nutshell.
Oh my god! Like, I am really curious about like the October surprise. Like, I was thinking, like, what if, what if Biden were to have like passed away,
Oh my god.
Like, then Kamala Harris would be president. But like, would that count as a term when her term is like when like the term is almost over? Like, would it just be 4 years? Like, what would happen?
I don't believe so because that happened with what's his name. I guess a lot of the people that this happened to, they didn't actually run for enough consecutive terms for it to play out. But like, LBJ becoming president, he won re-election. He could have ran again though after he ran, because I don't think that first term counted. So he won sort of re-election, but I think he could have ran again. And then with what's his name, Gerald Ford never even really won, so that actually doesn't. Yeah, no, he didn't win. He literally just did not win after Nixon resigned. I have to look at more examples because that's an interesting question, but I don't think that first thing counts as a real term, which is actually weird because what if right after inauguration someone resigns? Then basically, if it doesn't count as a term, then do you just like basically be president for 12 years? Or maybe they do count it, but how do you decide when that is okay? Because the day before the election, that's ridiculous to count that as a term.
Yeah,
like, going to the other extreme, but
like I don't think he will die. It was just like a an idle thought I had. I was like, I don't know how that works, because like we've been living in unprecedented times for so long. It's like just run it up. Why not? Just like
whatever happens.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like 2020. I was like, let's throw everything at the wall. Trump got COVID, and then that was shortly after the first debate, and then Lord knows what happened. I don't remember because that was such a weird year. I don't remember what happened shortly before the election. Like, was there even anything happening? I just know like he got COVID, he got better, and then I don't really remember much anything eventful happening in the lead up to the debate to the election day. So I'm like, what could happen now? Obviously you have court stuff, which I forgot what date he's supposed to be sentenced. I don't remember what's going on with that, with the Manhattan case.
I think it's like November 26th or something.
That's what I heard, but I haven't heard it in the news recently. I guess there's been too much other crazy stuff. Just wild because it was a big deal earlier this month. And now it's kind of like, oh yeah, he might be getting sentenced. Okay. So October is coming. Let's see the surprises, y'all.
Nope. I refuse.
I refuse.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm here for it. I got my tea, but any surprises? Nah.
Yeah, like what? What is gonna happen? Like I don't know. I don't know.
I'll say this much. I want a refund. I want a refund on this whole entire year. I want a whole entire refund. I need a refund. I need like the last 4 years to be a redo. Like, nah.
I mean the last 8.
I guess I have to be partial to this year being really nice. It's been strange, yes, absolutely, but also I don't know. I'm like 2024. This has been kind of a great year. But I mean, I kind of have my reasons. Last year was wild, so this year needed to like be better, and it has been by most counts. So I kind of get it, but I'm also like, maybe I'll just have to get progressively more 2024s, or just figure out what was right in the. Anyways, 2016 was a strange year, but it was a very good year as well. So 2024 is feeling like the end of the saga in a way. It's kind of weird, but we'll see what happens. But a lot of transitions, a lot of new things, a lot of weird news, but a lot of good personal development for me. But I get it. It's been odd in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Agreed.
With that said, we are landing the stream plane down.
Yes.
It is 11:15 here on the East Coast,
Europe.
and we got work tomorrow
Oh
because
God.
none of our jobs said that we can't continue streaming. So that's why we're still working, among other reasons, of course. But we got bills to pay.
Bills.
But as always, thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you so much for watching.
Yes.
Please like, subscribe, and share, our show, our stream with us. We can't do it without y'all because y'all are amazing. Y'all are the reason. Y'all are the reason for being. I think that was y'all are our reason for being
You got it.
alive. So without y'all, we would not be here. Just streaming. Like we'd be alive, just like, but like, like we'd exist, but we wouldn't be like living,
Yes.
But because of y'all, we are living.
Yes.
We are at our peak happiness because of y'all.
Boom.
Yes.
Yes.
I will co-sign on that one every day of the week.
Every day of the week.
Every
And
day.
twice on Sundays.
Yeah, yes. and thrice on Tuesdays.
Yes.
You would
part.
exist within the context.
Oh gosh.
Without y'all, we would still be in the coconut tree.
Yes.
Like we wouldn't have even fallen out.
Yeah, that's a scary place to be.
I just love that.
Yeah.
You exist in the context of everything and all of which that came before you. I can't remember what she says, but something like that.
Yeah. Something like that.
Right, like we'd still be alive, just not living. Like we'd exist. But y'all complete us.
Yes.
Yes.
Hearts.
And
Lots
what
of
Rocky
hearts.
said was,
I just keep. I would just keep hearing it, so I just had to repeat it. Yeah. With that said, I gotta go practice my Kamala Harris impressions.
Oh gosh.
And we all gotta go to bed because we got work in the morning.
Hey.
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 I said yay, like kind of cautiously, like.
Oh.
Do I really want to go back to work? I mean, I got
we got to.
Do I want to go to work? No.
Nah.
Allegedly.
That's not even allegedly. That's like, nah. I'm straight. Work is ghetto. I'm good.
With that said, we love y'all. Take care. Have a great night. Sweet dreams. Think of me, of course. Dream of me.
So think of me. Wait.
Can I take a rain check?
Sure.
Okay.
Take a rain check.
What was it that you said we should think of in our sleeps?
Just me.
It's me. Oh.
Good night, y'all. Bye.
Y'all.
Bye.